Hi, my name is Caroline Pugh. I'm the simulation technician at the Clinical Skills and Education Centre here at the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast. And today I am making tracheostomy models. These are little simulators of necks, basically. And the ingredients for these are just a standard plastic tray. It needs to be quite hard so that the scalpel doesn't, go through it. So 2 rolls of transport. I'm using this. You could probably use a variety of tape. What's nice about this is it has a bit of give, but not a lot. So it feels a bit like cartilage. And it is about a 1 centimetre one and a 3 centimetre, 2 or 3 centimetre one. So we need 2 of those. Some high tape or sleek tape. This is a zinc oxide tape and it's quite rubbery. It's quite stretchy. It's got a lot of give. It's really handy for simulation. It has a fleshy sort of feel. Microfoam tape, which is about a millimetre thick foam with a sticky backing, and again this is really stretchy and gives and elasticy, and that's very similar to skin, and this is what's going to be simulating our skin on top. A roll of gauze, just standard gauze. And I'm going to also be using some Flesh Effects gel. I get my recipe from this great PDF, I think it's Googleable, it's online for free, by Barry Robinson, called Mannequin Moulage. I'll talk about that in a second. And you'll also need some cling film and possibly a tray. I've got a tray that's been pre-prepared with cling film. So, first of all, you're going to want to prepare a bit of fatty flesh. That in this model here, that's this part here. It's going to be underneath the skin, but over the cartilage. And for that, I'm using a length of this gauze here. Just cut some of that. And that's what this cling film covered tray is for. Now, I'm pouring the gelatin mixture onto the gauze and it soaks in and it creates, it's just a little easier to work with. The gauze provides structure for it. So the recipe for this gel is 14 grams of gelatin, 30 milliliters of glycerin, and 15 milliliters of water. I would go a little bit easy on the water, try and avoid making it too thin. So you heat it up, and I've used the microwave, and you create this goop. I'm just going to pour it on, and that soaks into the gauze really nicely. You can use a variety of textures of gel for different amounts of fat in the neck. And you want, well, I've been instructed to do a variety of thicknesses of fat so that you can simulate a variety of people. Okay, so this is what you end up with here, sliding off a little bit. And I've made one earlier, so I'm going to get one of these. You need to wait about 10 to 15 minutes for it to dry. I've got this on greaseproof paper. You can use that too if you want. It tends to go a little bit wrinkly. And this one's I've made quite a fatty one here. You can see it's nice and rubbery, but still really intact. It's hard to break up, which is what we're wanting. So, back to this. We have the plastic box, plastic tray, and get these cartilage simulators and fix them down with some of this sleek tape or high tape. Now this is the hard part, so I'm just going to show you how much I need to concentrate to do this anyway. So that's the first bit stuck down. And I like to fold the tape over. Gives a slightly smoother, gives a slightly rounder edge to this. And then the next one, I'm leaving a gap of less than ½ centimetre really. I'm trying to line them up quite precisely. The nice thing about the sleek tape is it has a bit of give and elasticity to it, so it's quite easy to move things around once they're stuck down. It'll also stick and re-stick loads of times. So what I have here now is these two bits of cartilage simulator and a gap between them, and that gap is going to be where the scalpel goes. And you can feel the distance yourself on your own neck. So then we've got this bit of airways tubing, just standard airways tubing. And it should fit really nicely in the tape. And then I've left a little bit of tape space here to stick that down. At no point is any of this rigid. It's all quite movable, just like your neck is. You want it all to be quite elastic. So that's stuck down there. I get my fatty layer and lay it on top. And at this point you should be able to feel that it's should feel quite realistic. And then finally the layer of microfoam. And because that's sticky, it should stick down your fatty layer really well. There we go. Now, I'm doing these tomorrow, and because gelatine has a tendency to dry out, I'm going to wrap the whole thing in cling film. And then that should be easy enough to unwrap tomorrow and ready to use. So there you go. Here's some neck simulators for tracheostomies.